This week on FMF Unboxed, we get wet.
We got a big bucket of water.
No handle.
So we got a big bucket of water. Chad's got a dustpan, which is going to be like a funnel, so water doesn't get everywhere. And he's just going to pour water out from the little shed here. I got my GoPro, and we're just going to film water coming out from underneath the door for the Donnie Decker story. So I'll cue you when it's time to pour the water. Yeah.
Bring that with you.
Coming.
Just put it on this thing so it looks like it's a colorful divider thing.
Yeah, we could do that. So we got a thing of poster board from the dollar store. And we cut a hole in it. And then I don't know if it's gonna work with the fixture. And then we went to a hardware store. We got an outlet and an outlet cover for like $1.50. And then watch this. Watch this. Yeah, it's not gonna work. We gotta pull it out. But we got us a wall. Look at that. We made a little fake wall for our little fake set.
And that'll totally work.
Little gaff tape. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
80% chance of showers, and we making it rain. We making it rain. Woo! So here's an editing trick I do from time to time. In this episode, we're combining original footage with footage from two different pieces on Donnie Decker, and usually it's always a good idea to have more footage than you need. But in this episode, we had the opposite problem. We're actually very limited on the footage we had. So here's a trick I do when I don't have enough footage to make an edit work. So I'm just going to right click on one of these clips and click frame blend. And then that'll let me go up in here to speed duration, and I can slow this clip down. And I'm just going to slow it to something like 95%. So what frame blending does is it takes frame 1 and frame 2 and it blends those together to create new frames in between, and that allows me to then slow this clip down. And so by slowing it down that imperceptible amount, you're not going to notice that it's slowed down. And if I apply that to a bunch of clips, it's going to stretch everything out, and I can close some of these gaps I have in my timeline. So if you're ever in a situation where you're just tight on footage, you just don't have as much footage as you would like to make your edit work, subtle slow-mo is a great trick to help get you to the finish line. So we ended this episode with an effect of it raining on the inside of this building. So in Google, I just found a high-quality image that I felt would work for this effect, and I brought it into After Effects. And then to create the rain, I actually have this footage right here of rain against a window that I got from Action Essentials 2. But if you don't want to pay for Action Essentials 2, you can easily just film your own stuff or even find free assets online. This is just what I used. So I'm going to go in here to my comp, and I'm going to go ahead and add the rain on top, and obviously need to rescale this. So I'm just going to rescale this and position this over the window. And then I'm just going to go ahead and grab my pen tool, and I'm just going to mask out the windowsill here. Now I just need to do the side windows, and if all three windows look exactly the same, it's going to look really fake. So I'm going to create some variance here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start this clip a little later and slide it back so that way it starts at a different point than the rest of the rain. And then I'm actually going to distort it a little. And then same deal as before, I'm just going to mask out the windowsill. And then I'm just going to repeat that step for the other side. And there we go. Now it looks like it's raining on the inside of this window as opposed to the outside. Then I can bring this clip into Premiere and color grade it to match the rest of my footage, and that's all there is to it.
Her red lips parted as water comes pouring out of them. We couldn't find Donnie. To this day, no one can find the living storm.
And that's how we did it, which means it's time for Q&A. This week's question comes from Googon Girl. Googon Girl wants to know, has any real-life events inspired one of your creepypastas? That's a great question, Googon Girl. Surprisingly, more than you would think are based on a true story. Back in Season 1, a couple of Sal's stories were actually based on real-life events that happened to him and people he knew. Episodes like Window and Friend of a Friend, those are both based on things that actually happened to him or people close by him. My first story I wrote, One New Voicemail, is based on something that actually happened to me. I kept getting voicemails and no missed calls, and it was the weirdest thing. But we've also done some historically accurate ones, some factoid pastas. Black Cats and Bad Luck, based off of the real life of Louis Wayne. Cecil Hotel, that really happened. That's real news footage in that episode. And this week's episode, Aqua, based on the real life events of Donnie Decker. So, yeah, believe it or not, more episodes than you would think are based on true story, or at least inspired by true stories. So thanks for your question, Goo Gone Girl. If you guys have a question you want me to answer on the show, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, or shoot us an email to frostedminifears@gmail.com. In the meantime, like, share, and favorite this video. And if you haven't already, click subscribe, because on Wednesday, it's an all-new episode of Frosted Mini Fears, and 1 week from today, I'll show you how we did it on an all-new FMF Unboxed.